email newsletters are kind of like podcasts. I only have bandwidth for a certain number in my world. And with email newsletters, I subscribe to 100 and then I cull it down over time to really 10 or 15 that I really want to hear from, right? I don't really care to hear from my dentist until it's time to get a filling. And I'm like, oh gosh, this is expensive. I wonder if they're going to send me a promo code or, a special discount in the email newsletter. So that's one of the reasons I sign up. So how do you cut through the noise as a small business owner when you're competing with big companies and retailers?
One of the best things you can do to cut through is provide something of value. When you look at, so let's say Gmail, for instance, there's different tabs. One is a primary tab, one is a promotions tab, and one is an updates tab. The promotions tab is where everything goes from a marketing perspective. When there was this one email newsletter that my friend told me about, and I signed up for it. And the first newsletter I read was really, really good. The second one that I read was really, really good. And then I missed a couple weeks because it was in that promotions tab and I didn't see it. And I got frustrated, so I went and drug it out of the promotions tab into the primary tab so that I would see it. So if you can create something that is very valuable, that people actually look forward to, you're going to get people to make a time to find it and use it. Now, the interesting thing about that story is when I signed up for that, I read that email newsletter for around 2 years before I did anything with their company. And a lot of times we think, oh, I sent out this email and they didn't buy a thing. It was useless. Well, in that 2 years, I was telling people about this company. I was sharing that email newsletter, and that company had no idea. And then 2 years later, I bought a book from them, and then another book. Then I signed up for a $1,000 course from them. It wasn't Ramsey. It was another company. But when I did that, they couldn't track that back to the email because I didn't click on an email to do that. And so marketing analytics, like that stuff is very important. You always need to look at that. But there is a branding aspect that being in an inbox over and over and over again, to your point about the dentist, finding something that you can get in their inbox on a frequent but not too frequent basis, whenever you do have that cavity or you need to go get a checkup, you're going to go back in there and find that and actually do business with that company.
Yeah, that's really good. And as you were talking about, adding value, it made me think, maybe we shouldn't be sending company newsletters. We should be sending human newsletters and actually being real people. And there's one, as you were talking about this stuff, I thought of one that I actually subscribe to that I enjoy. It's a local restaurant in Columbia, Tennessee. The sweet family, they run an awesome restaurant out of Columbia, Tennessee called The Dotted Line. And I'm subscribed. And they're sending me weekly emails, and she has so much personality that you feel like you're getting to know this person. You already like them because you've been to the restaurant, and now you're going, oh, I get to kind of keep up. It's almost like what the original intent of social media was, right? Where we can keep up with friends and family. And so I love subscribing, not because I care about what's on the menu this week, but because I love the way they communicate and they tell stories and they let us know what's going on. And maybe there is some specials that week. And I go, oh gosh, we got to go there on Saturday morning, get a great breakfast. And so there is a piece of this that makes me think, what is unique about your business and your people and your team? And how can you kind of let the culture be seen publicly through the newsletter? And so at Ramsey, we are very intentional about being who we are. We're bold in the marketplace. And I think a lot of small businesses feel like they have to be stuffy and company and, have the buttoned up shirt when they communicate to the customers. What are some ways that we can kind of be real and stand out in the inbox by being ourselves?
Yeah, you gave a really good example. A lot of times it's just, if you're a small business, you as a founder, your story and the stories of your customers is a great way to be real. We send out information about our customers all the time. Now, we get their approval. You got to be very careful about when you send that out, that
permission.
You get permission to send that out. But sending out stories of how people are having success, people, I'm not subscribed to the Dotted Line, but if they're sending out, hey, this is one of our customers and this is what they're saying about us, or here's a way that we've helped people. We have debt-free screens all the time showing how, hey, they followed this and they did a debt-free screen and they won. It allows people, not only that validates your brand, but allows people to connect with you and see that sort of human side. If you get very stuffy, if you get very corporate, or if you come off as thinking that your customer cares about your brand as much as you do, or thinks about it as much as you do, customers are not sitting with their phones refreshing, saying, oh, I hope they send me an email soon. I hope they send me an email soon, right? They're living their lives. They have problems, etc. When they go into their inbox, if you're not going to meet their needs or you're not being real and it's just a buy this, buy that, buy this, buy that, they're going to unsubscribe and they're just going to leave, and you're going to lose that chance to talk to them on an ongoing basis. I mean, email more than any other medium is the way that you can have an ongoing relationship. If you think of buying paid ads or doing social media, to have that sort of consistent conversation, you can't have. You've got algorithms in social media that they may or may not see your posts. You have to depend on what they're searching for, whether your ads are going to show up. But email, they're going to be subscribed. So when you send this, as long as you send them good stuff and they don't unsubscribe, you can continue and build upon that conversation for the long term.